Well, hello there, Tenno, and welcome to the Mastery Rank 23 test. Before we get into it, I need you to drop me a like, comment, and or sub on this or any of my other videos, and I won't stop banging on about it, so you may as well just go ahead and get it done. Okay, thank you. Anyway, this test requires the player to capture 6 mobile control points before the timer runs out by standing within a radius as they move along set paths. Various types of grenade enemies will spawn throughout the map, attacking the player as they capture the points. Capture progress quickly decays while the player is outside of the white radius. The point will gradually turn green and then stop moving upon reaching 100%. So you have this 5-minute timer to capture all 6 points, and there's no way of increasing the time by killing enemies. So the wiki suggests bring in like an AoE weapon and lots of armor and blah blah blah, but we can cheese it. They also mention cheesing it, so we're going to use 2 Warframes in this video. I've chaptered it up so you can skip backwards or forwards between them, and as you can see, the first one is Limbo, and all I'm doing is putting sprint speed in there. Don't worry about the strength, don't worry about any of that, we don't care about any of that. His passive, when you dodge, you go into the rift and you do not take damage, and that's all we're going to do, and that will allow us to concentrate on running around and chasing these points. Okay, so we're going to take this test on first with Limbo. As I mentioned, I'm also going to show you Loki and my Loki build, so you can skip to that if you want. They do say on the wiki that you can try other Warframes as long as you put a bit of speed on them. You could try Siren with her Molt because that will distract the enemies, or you could try Revenant because he's pretty good at being immune to damage, and also you could enthrall some of the enemies on the way around if you wanted to. They'll distract each other. Again, Revenant just needs a bit of a speed boost on him. They do suggest putting mods on like Rush, Armored Agility and Sprint Boost. I've got all of those on Limbo, and I will have all of those on Loki. So when you're modding, all you have to do is type sprint into the search bar at the bottom by your mods, and it'll bring up all the sprint boost mods. Same with efficiency, just type efficiency and it will bring up all your efficiency mods. Now, as you can see, this point just went zooming away from us and we lost 25% of our capture progress. Don't panic. Even the fastest Warframe might lose track of that one. Maybe Gauss could with his little speed boost, maybe Volt, I don't know, just about keep up, but it doesn't matter. You do a little bullet jump, do a little roly-poly, and you'll soon catch up with it. And you'll get a feeling for it. And I think the best bit of advice I can give is try to keep the point in your peripheral. So this center bit, this white thing that slowly turns green, try and just about keep it in your camera peripheral, or this white outer line, try and keep that in your peripheral, and you'll start to get a feel for when it's slowing down. It'll speed up real quick, but you'll get a feeling for the direction it's about to head in. Obviously, I didn't there. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It's just look at me. Look at me playing catch up. I'm an LR4, guys, and yep, still having trouble. Yet we still pass this test. Now I'm going to show you Loki. But, you know, you just basically want to negate a lot of the enemy damage, and you also need to be a bit faster than usual. So the other thing I would suggest, if you can, is keeping an eye as you're running around. If you've got that ability to, if you can multitask, have a quick look up at that mini map on your top left there and see when you're over sort of 50% here to 70%, have a little look where those yellow points are, because you might be able to intercept one right as you finish capturing the one that you're at, and just have an idea of which direction you're going to head in. And if you can get an idea of the direction those yellow things are going in, as you can see I'm going backwards and forwards, I just realized on the map it was coming towards me, you're kind of preempting where it's heading. And the more you do this test, the more you'll understand they do sit on a set path. I don't think they're randomized. I think a lot of people think they are, because it feels random, but it might just be that, you know, one time you capture the point, you're in one place, but the second time you capture the exact same point, you might have missed it a couple times or lost it, and it's taken a little bit longer to capture it, so you end up in a different place on the map, i.e. the other points are already in a different place. So we definitely need to multitask here, okay? Your eyeballs have to really be everywhere. And you also just need to be comfortable in your own Warframe skin, you know, and your ability to run around and parkour and stay within those points and not stress and panic. They're not just going to randomly go off in a random direction. They're going in the same direction each time. So the more you do it, the more you'll become familiar with them and the feel for them. And next up is my Loki Test build. So as you can see, you have really high duration. We have a good amount of energy pool, a lot of sprint speed. So I literally typed in sprint in the search bar and put all the sprint mods in that I could find. I definitely wanted a bit of preparation. I couldn't get the full preparation in, so you'll see in a moment that I have an Archon shard, adding a little bit of preparation to our build so we don't have to worry about energy at all. And because it's quite efficient and it's got a long duration, we can pop his invisibility as many times as we want. It'll last a good while and it will just give us less aggro from the enemies as we run around. And you saw that I also had a spare little Amber Archon shard, not Tire Forged, where I just added a bit more parkour velocity. So if I bullet jump then and dash in the air, it's absolutely fine. As Loki, you don't come back out of your invisibility or anything like that for parkouring like you might with Avara, for instance. But we'll gain a little bit more speed. So I found with Loki that I did find keeping up with these a little tiny bit easier, but you still have to try to predict which direction they're going in. I think some tend to go in a kind of clockwise direction, some just go left right, some just whiz off and leave you behind and make you look like you aren't capable of gaming all of a sudden. But there you go, we're on to the next one. And as you can see, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the mini map, so it might have looked like I was really confident, but it's because I already could see it heading towards me on the little maze map to our top left near the end of the capture progress. I wouldn't keep an eye on it the whole entire time because I'm trying to focus, but I can see them like buzzing. It's so annoying when it turns in the opposite direction and you're like, if it had just turned the other way, I would be right by the next one. As you can see, there's one coming up there to our left. I'm kind of like, which way is it going? Am I heading the wrong way or the right way? And there it is. We're just playing catch up. So having a bit of speed on your Warframe build definitely helps in these situations. The other thing I wanted to talk about as we watch this test play out is, how are you gaming? Do you find parkouring difficult? And are you on keyboard and mouse, or are you a controller gamer? Now, I have played this game on both. I played controller on my Xbox for many a year. It's ingrained into my muscle memory. But then when I started my PC account, I decided to start Warframe afresh, and that's when I decided to play it on keyboard and mouse. Now, not only did I give myself a severe elbow injury because I wasn't supporting myself properly whilst gaming with the mouse, I actually got to the new war quest and found it so difficult that I couldn't get through it on this PC account, knowing that I just managed to scrape through on my Xbox. So the only difference was the keyboard and mouse. So I switched back to my controller during the new war quest on this second playthrough on PC, and I've never looked back. Well, actually I have, really easily, because I find looking around and parkouring and moving and aiming, I find it so much easier generally on controller for myself. Now, yes, sometimes mouse aiming feels a little bit more precise, but on my controller, actually parkouring and looking around and being able to shoot in the direction that you're looking as well really does help. And I don't know if that's got something to do with making the parkouring mastery test a little less difficult. I don't know, but obviously if it's not ingrained into your memory, then there'd be no point switching over anyway, my darlings, good luck on this test. It is a bit difficult at first if you're not very good at parkouring or keeping an eye on the map. Just keep practicing is my advice, and at least you don't have to wait 24 hours now if you fail your actual test, so that's a good thing. Anyway, my darlings, good luck. Let us know how you're getting on in the comments. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I really do hope to see you again in the next one, no matter what it may be. But in the meantime, you take care now, and goodbye.